Hey everyone, this is Roman and Julia. If you're new to the channel or you've been busy with, your own life, let me quickly catch you up on what we've been up to the last 2 years. In 2021, we quit our jobs to travel across Canada with our dog Ezra while living in our SUV. In 2022, we drove back across the country to get jobs again. In 2023, we had a quarter life crisis and, we got married. Almost forgot about that. We went on our honeymoon and we got a kitten. And this year in 2024, we said fuck it and drove across the country for the third time. What is going on here? Are we just addicted to driving? Well, this time around, things were a little different. You see, part of our first road trip, besides the experience itself of traveling across the country, was scouting out Canada for potential new places to live. It was kind of like speed dating with different cities. We spent our whole life in Toronto and we wanted to experience living in a new place before we got too old and too grumpy to try new things. Well, after 2 years of reflection and 1 whole month of research, we finally decided on a city, and we actually moved. Here's what happened. It started off with the impossible task of trying to downsize our life and pack the rest into one U-Haul. We try to be minimal, but new shit just keeps appearing, especially because we're into video production and we have pets. Things just pile up. One of the obstacles was deciding what to keep and what to sell or give away. Packing is super tedious, so here's a fun montage instead.
What are you doing?
Okay, the drive. Driving with a dog is one thing, but now we have this little murder mitten in the car too. On top of that, this wasn't just any drive. We were driving across Canada in the winter. The timing seemed bad, but it actually worked out because it was the holiday season and the roads were surprisingly clear. We made sure to pack the car to be as pet-friendly as possible. Nova had a litter box, they each had a bed, and everyone got plenty of snacks along the way. The drive was pretty smooth. We drove for 6 days and 5 nights, we stayed in hotels along the way, and then we finally got to our new home, Kelowna, British Columbia. First order of business was establishing a routine for our furry associate over here. One of the reasons we chose this city was quick access to nature. Back in Toronto, we had our whole routine and we had go-to spots for Ezra. But we were new to this area, so we had to explore. We tried out a couple of chill trails, but Ezra has to run to get his energy out, otherwise there would be hell to pay at home. Initially, we struggled finding a good spot for him. We checked out a couple of places, but nothing that he approved of. Then finally, we found a dog park by the lake that seemed straight out of a Windows XP wallpaper. Ezra got to sprint like a crackhead, he met new dog acquaintances, and he got to play fetch. This quickly became one of our favorite spots. The view is unbeatable. Ezra, high five if you like that park.
What are you doing?
Okay, so we took care of one little goober, and there was one more to go. Nova is a Bengal kitten with the energy of 12 fully grown men. We do plan on going outdoors with her, but the last few months here have been cold, so we had to find stuff for her to do indoors. The most obvious things to do with her would be to play, which we did. She's a natural predator, but she's a cat and she needs cat activities. For example, she likes being high up, so we installed the same cat perch that we had in our old place. We could tell she longed for the outdoors, so what we did as well was fill up the bathtub with snow or water for her to play in. The other thing is, just like many others, she aspires to be a homeowner, so we built her this box castle. This was a pretty big condo development for her. She put down no down payment, she just moved in. This is great because it gives her something new to climb and to get that view that she likes, but she can also run and hide in it when she gets sick of her roommate. On top of all of these things, she's also a track and field athlete, so she needs to run fast. So we assembled a giant cat wheel for her. She loves this thing. She uses it all the time, especially at night, and we believe it's the reason there's been a 40% reduction in cat aggression in this house. You can see full-length episodes of how we built all of this stuff on Ezra Nova's YouTube channel, where we document their life and adventures. We have plans on catifying the house even more, but this is a very strong start and Nova seems happy. For now. Now that the pet's needs were met, what about us? What's my cat wheel? We went out to discover things in our area and establish our own routine. First thing for us was to grow up and get a Costco membership. We just came from downtown Toronto, where we had a grocery store in our building, and we rarely drove anywhere. But in this strange new land, car is life. Like I mentioned earlier, nature was a big reason for this move. We wanted to do stuff outdoors with our pets, and BC is fantastic for that. So here's some of the stuff we've been doing the last few months. I'm out here on our balcony, by the way. Like, this is our view every day. One of the first spots we checked out was Knox Mountain, which is a large popular park near downtown Kelowna. They have a few pretty chill hikes, but the main thing is the views are incredible. Even though Ezra enjoyed this hike, he still has the dog park on his mind. Another place we checked out was Kalamalka Lake. This is a pristine lake that's about a 30-minute drive from our place. It's very peaceful and there's a place to hang out by the water. We went with both Ezra and Nova, and this is Nova's first time stepping out of her new home in BC. She couldn't believe her eyes. We were in a lake mood as it was getting warmer, so we checked out another lake nearby called Shannon Lake. It turned out this lake was more like a pond that identified as a lake, but that's okay. It was still a very relaxing time, and we came out with the fur fam for a small picnic. Nova got a small tent to chill in so she could watch the ducks and relax. She ventured out a little bit, but she spent most of the time napping. Another big outdoor reason we came out here was snowboarding. British Columbia has amazing snowboarding. Obviously, everyone knows Whistler, but the province has other great mountains. Julia and I both got a pass for Big White, which is another great mountain that happens to be a 48-minute drive from our place. By the way, we're both snowboarding amateurs. I didn't start snowboarding till I was 30, which I realize means I'm probably not going to be a sponsored athlete, but it's still nice to have such a great mountain not that far from my place. To compare that to Ontario, we would drive for 2 hours through brutal Toronto traffic just to get to Blue Mountain. Some people believe Blue Mountain should be stripped of its mountain title because it's basically just an extra large hill. Also in BC, we hit up Sun Peaks Resort, which is another great mountain near Kamloops. Both these mountains are out of the way compared to mountains near Vancouver, which means that they tend to be less busy, less touristy, which can sometimes make you feel like you have the whole mountain to yourself. Okay, so we can't talk about moving to a new city without talking about one thing that is important to us: good food. Now, I just want to say this is not a snob food channel. We eat a good amount of frozen Costco pizza. We're regular people just like you. But Toronto has some of the best, most diverse food in the country, and I know that's a tough standard to match. We haven't been going out that much here in Kelowna, but we did have a chance to check out a couple of restaurants. So what's the food situation out here really like? Non-existent. I'm just kidding, we were actually pleasantly surprised. One of our favorite spots right now is a place called BNA Burger. This is honestly one of the best smash burgers we've ever had. This place has a cozy vibe, the staff is friendly, and they're clearly so beloved that they have their own merch line. I gotta say, this was the first time I actually wanted to rep a local burger chain. Another big thing for us was sushi. Toronto and Vancouver has some amazing sushi, as you'd expect. We wanted to get a sense of the sushi quality here in Kelowna, so we tried a place called Yuzu. The sushi was sensational, and the whole atmosphere was great. For drinks, we stopped by a place called Leopold's Tavern. It's a charming, old school looking spot that reminded us of some of our favorite dive bars in Toronto. This place had a fun vibe, and the music was a big part of that. Okay, so we've officially been in BC for 3 months, and it is now spring. As it gets warmer, our goal is to keep exploring this province. We're gonna make new videos of us doing outdoor stuff with our pets, like camping and paddleboarding. but we're also going to make videos of us just checking out local establishments. So if that sounds like your thing, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.